Now it's time for our first interview of the night from our first guest. He joined the Cutters broadcast crew in 2012 and assumed the role of voice of the Crosscutters in the 2017 season. He also broadcast high school football for Backyard Broadcasting and serves as the play-by-play voice for Lycoming Warrior football, basketball, and baseball. Joining Gabe Sinicropi is Cutters play-by-play broadcaster Ian Catherine.
Well, Ian, welcome to the interview chair. You're usually the one asking the questions.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you get to answer them now. So what originally drew you to sports broadcasting?
I remember working a Little League field with my dad, and I was probably, Little League age, probably 10 years old, and he brought up the point that you could get paid to talk about sports. And I looked at him completely dumbfounded. I said, there's no way that that's possible. And he said, absolutely. All the guys on TV, all the guys on the radio do, they get paid to talk about sports. I said, well, that's what I'm going to do. So, and that's how I started my pursuit at a young age, probably about 10, 11 years old. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, you are doing it, my friend. Who are your biggest influences or role models in the broadcasting field?
I would say outside of the broadcasting field first, I'd have to say my dad. I mean, he's one of the guys who's been one of my biggest sounding boards. Whenever he listens to all the games I've done over the last about 15 years or so, even back in my college days, he'd find a way to listen to him when I was doing games for Clarion University. But he would probably be one of my bigger influences just by hearing the stories of him listening to guys like Bob Prince on KDKA and on the radio back in the 70s and throughout. But my personal, Greg Brown, Pirates broadcaster, Mike Lang was a big one. Obviously, people know that I like having the different calls and whatnot. And Mike Lang, definitely known for those. But I'd say those two are probably my biggest influences.
You broadcast numerous sports: baseball, football, basketball, hockey, which we won't really talk about.
I was going to say, I'm surprised you brought that up.
What sport is your favorite to broadcast?
To be honest, hockey was one of my favorite ones. Just nonstop action, and those types of sports are for me are a blast to call. There's nonstop going. Basketball's fun, but truly baseball is got to be the top of the list, just because of the passion I have for the game and just the different intricacies of the game itself. I think are what puts it up the top.
We talked earlier in the media room about maybe how many games you think you've broadcast so far, and you thought it was about 1,000 plus. We're kind of estimating, but in all those games, do you have a favorite call or a game or moment that happened?
I think last year the 2024 Draft League championship game, that was definitely near the top. It's tough to narrow them down because each sport that I do, I consider most of the schools or the teams that I cover, I become one of their biggest fans.
Most people know, but for those here who don't, the Crosscutters team name refers to the old two-man crosscut saw and Williamsport's heritage as the lumber capital of the world from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. So our themes with the team revolve around saw blades, lumber, axes, and things of that nature. And as our play-by-play guy, you've really brought that theme into your broadcast with some of your signature calls. For instance, when the Cutters hit a home run.
And that ball is Lum-Ber-Jacked.
That's right. And when the Cutters are victorious,
you can carve the W.
Exactly. So those catchphrases, something that you came up with consciously, or was it?
To be honest, I think most of the people that know Lumberjack did come up. As cliche as it sounds, it was a shower thought.
Time out. This is me erasing that picture from my mind, but now continue.
But it was like 2012, 2013. It was just getting ready for a game, and I was thinking, what can I bring? What's something that can kind of stand alone, individualize a home run call? Like I said, I'm a big Greg Brown fan with clear the deck, cannonball coming. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I go, It's like, well, lumberjack, jag, you jack that ball, so no way for, another name for a home run. I'm like, there's no way nobody, actually, that was my first thought was, there's no way nobody's put this together. So I was like, you know what? Next home run, if I'm doing, because that time I was really only doing play-by-play for like the middle 3 innings of the broadcast team I was working with. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. So if one hits a homer, I'm just going to let it fly. And I let it go, and it got some people's attention off the air. And so I just kept running with it. And we have it here today. And it's still, I still get kind of chills when they hit a homer in a game. You see it on the scoreboard, and it resonates through the stadium and whatnot. But it was just it literally was a shower thought. I was like,
All right. Well, we love it, so keep it up. You also call Lycoming College sports, and this year Lycoming football had a national spotlight shining on it with number 40 on the team. The media guide read, height 6 foot, weight 227, year freshman, age 58. 58-year-old freshman football player, Tommy Silla, was part of the Lycoming College Warriors. What did you think when you first heard that was happening?
I think like a lot of people, I didn't believe it. I was quickly checking sources. But, once I saw it was a real deal and started reaching out to some people that were close to the situation. And everybody was telling me, they were equally as surprised when they heard it from him. One of my good friends and broadcast colleague, Jamie Spencer, who's here tonight, he said he had a great conversation. And it was something along the lines of, Tommy told him, he goes, I got big things coming. I can't tell you what it is, but, stay tuned. And then sure enough, playing football at the age of 50, it was great to watch it, to hoping to see him get off the field in a game. It was kind of the highlight, because that meant that, understanding the situation, it meant Lycoming was ahead in a ball game. I mean, I know it could be the other end of the spectrum, but in our heads we're like, all right, if they're way ahead late in the game, let's get 40 on the field. And I do remember this season, it was kind of a runaway game. Lyco wasn't on top, but a player on the defensive side got injured. And Tom comes out off the sideline, and Coach Girardi Stadium almost came to the ground. People just going nuts. He was going out to help the player off the field. But we were sitting there, I mean, even myself, I got kind of caught up in it too. I mean, why not? We've been waiting all season for this moment. And I mean, just the reaction from the fans in that stadium was phenomenal. But I'm hoping he comes back. I mean, it'll be great to see if he plays all 4 years and collecting Social Security while he does it. But I mean, it was a great story.
Well, as you mentioned, he did not get into a varsity game, but you had to be thinking that if the time came, what were you going to say? Because that call, even of him entering the game, probably would have been heard around the world.
I didn't really put too much, because I did have that in the back of my mind. Okay, what's going to be the call? But I figured I'm more successful in the organic moments. I don't try to, I know the lumberjack thing was kind of pre-scripted and the Carve The W was, but in those moments, it's just what comes natural to me. And so I really didn't try to put too much thought, because when I do that, then it does sound scripted. But I mean, I don't even remember what I said when he walked out onto the field. I just know that I was hyped. But it would have been, it would definitely have been something. But it was neat because of all the national stories that he was covered by CBS, the USA Today, ABC News, and all that. I kind of give him credit. Not only did he get, Lycoming College, some spotlight on the national scale. Some of my calls ended up on some of those packages as well, and I was like, so it was kind of neat getting emails for with the endings of Paramount and ESPN, ABC, and all that stuff for a couple weeks. But no, I don't really know if I would have had anything necessarily scripted had he got on.
Question from the audience. What's your dream call? Is it a player hitting for the cycle? Is it a no-hitter, a perfect game, a championship, or a bench-clearing brawl?
Well, this past year I got a chance to do a bench-clearing brawl. I've actually called 2 no-hitters here in Williamsport, Ranger Suarez being one of them, just signed with the Red Sox. And then
So I would, and I've called a championship win. So, I mean, there's 3 of them right there, and they're all phenomenal. I don't think I've ever called anybody hitting for the cycle, but if I had a dream call, dream situation, I am a Pirates fan. So if I had just so happened to be on the call, that'd probably be my dream call, if you will, if they won a title.
All right. Well, Ian, you do a great job for us calling the Crosscutters action every summer. We probably don't tell you enough how much we appreciate all that you do and that you're part of the Cutters family. Let's hear it for Cutters play-by-play man Ian Catherine.